Okay, how did I miss this back in November? There's this moment where Jennifer Lopez seems completely focused on Celine Dion, and honestly, I can't tell what's going on here. Is it shade, curiosity, something else? We broke it down during a recent live stream, and I've pulled out the key moments for you here. The video will play right after the intro, so let's get right into it. Welcome to Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is in my opinion and not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe. A couple of days ago, I saw this tweet by Opinionated Russian on X. And she said, "What happened here? Jennifer Lopez eyeing Celine up and down." So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the clip that Opinionated Russian posted, and let's all just watch it. Let's all just watch it. So here's that clip. It says JLo wouldn't take her eyes off Celine Dion. It looks like she eyes her up and down. She can't stand that Celine gets more attention, is the text that's also written here. And it says, but Celine ignored her the whole time. So this event, oh my goodness, I was telling myself I was going to go look up how to pronounce the designer's name, and I forgot to do it. I forgot to do it. I'm going to check right now. I'm going to check right now. I don't want to say it wrong. I have an idea of how to pronounce it, but man, you try to be prepared. And let's see. Okay. Okay. I was going to say Eli Saab, but it's actually Ellie Saab. Okay. So the designer that's in the middle in the black suit, that's Ellie Saab. And this event will go through what it was, but it was happening in Saudi Arabia in November of last year. So you see Halle Berry standing there in her iconic Oscar dress. I think that's the one where she won an Oscar. And yeah, so what I also wanted to do was to show you all the video without all of the commentary and the zooming in and all of that. So here is the raw clip. So Ellie is talking to Camila Cabello. I hope I pronounced her name correctly. And JLo seems like she really wants Ellie's attention. And Celine is just standing there taking photos, right? My opinion as we go through this, you're going to see it's going to change because this clip I think looks bad. Carol says Aishi Tudor said JLo is a narcissist. I don't know much about her, but I have heard that as well. Carol says Halle Berry's dress was her 2002 Oscar dress by Ellie Saab. Yeah. Jen J says Celine is the best. I still don't think JLo can really sing. JLo's an entertainer, and confession time. I'm a huge Britney Spears fan. Okay. I love, love, love Britney Spears, but I don't listen to Britney Spears to watch her sing ballads. Okay. I want Disney to bring the auto-tuned dance music and I want to see her choreograph dances. Like that's just what she does. And I feel JLo is kind of similar in that. Whereas Celine Dion is an artist, a musician, like Mama Sunflower says, grace and dignity. Yeah. Yeah. The dress JLo is wearing is amazing, not gonna lie. You know what it is? I feel I don't know if it's because of age or what, but I don't think I would be comfortable in a dress like that. I would just be constantly like, is everything in the right place? It's a beautiful dress and it's great on JLo. I wouldn't wear it because I would be like, look, how many hours do I need to be in this dress and make sure nothing is inappropriate? Okay, so let's get into the articles. This one is describing what the event was. It happened on November 14th, and it's Ellie Saab celebrating 45 years with star-studded extravaganza in Saudi Arabia. Celine Dion, Jennifer Lopez, Camila Cabello, and Halle Berry took to the stage for a glamorous spectacle in honor of the red carpet maestro. All eyes were on Saudi Arabia last night as Ellie Saab put on a dazzling spectacle fusing fashion entertainment and gobsmacking lineup of female musical talent. It was an hour of surprises and triumphs featuring 300 couture looks woven together through live performances from the biggest names in music. Halle Berry opened the show, which had more than 1,000 guests in attendance, wearing the burgundy Ellie Saab gown she wore for the historic Oscar win 22 years earlier that catapulted the actress and the designer into stardom. The article continues and says Jennifer Lopez, in her first big performance since her breakup with Ben Affleck, floated down on stage from a cloud of feathers singing I Will Survive, a nod to coming back from a tough year in which she also canceled her world tour. Lopez didn't hold back for her performance, which included high octane dance routines with a bevy of dancers, to some of her greatest hits, including Waiting for Tonight, Let's Get Loud, and On the Floor. So let's keep this in mind, right? So I think it's important when we are looking at these clips to really think about what the person may have experienced, what vulnerabilities they might have at that time. And I don't know that JLo is a narcissist. I've seen a lot of behaviors that seem so. I've seen a lot of experts that I respect say the same. I just don't want to take that stand because I don't know enough about her to say it. And whether or not, though, she is a narcissist, these are things that would affect you, right? If she is a narcissist, these are things that affect ego, having a big breakup and having to cancel your world tour. It would affect ego, right? Okay, so one other thing I want to say before moving on. Sometimes when Sometimes we have to recognize when we are in a vulnerable state as well. And I mention this now because it got me thinking of times when I would do something and then beat myself up about it, right? Things that maybe ordinarily I wouldn't do. Or my performance at work maybe wasn't the best that it usually is, or my temper was shorter with someone than it usually is. And really, if you look at that day as a whole, are there things, physical things or emotional things that would have made me more sensitive to those things? Like, what if that day, and I'm laughing about it, but like, what if that day I started a diet and I just really wanted the new McDonald's milkshake? Okay. That would put me in a bad mood. And maybe I wouldn't recognize it in the front of my conscious, like I wouldn't be conscious of it, but maybe it would come out in different ways that way. So that's why I'm saying let's keep in mind that Jennifer Lopez had a tough year going into this. Again, these things that I'm saying about JLo having a tough year, I'm only saying it because I want each of us to give ourselves these types of grace, this type of grace when we've been going through a hard time. So, my friend, okay, let's get into a story. I mentioned before that one of the reasons that I started this channel was because I had a friend who I met through a pet loss support group, and she was the one. I would tell her, Megan's a narcissist. And she would say, but I don't see it. Create a channel or an account or something where I can see 10 to 15-second clips so you can prove it to me. So Megan was my thing, and her thing was JLo. She's like, JLo's a narcissist. JLo's so mean to Ben Affleck. At this point, her and Ben were still together. So it's just funny that we're talking about JLo today. I would love to have her feedback actually on this whole thing. She's been kind of busy the last few days, but I think I'll send her some of these clips and find out her opinion. Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's continue. Saab saved the best for last with a surprise performance for the finale from Celine Dion, who descended a coiling staircase wearing an Ellie Saab gold embroidered cape gown singing The Power of Love. She followed that up with an uplifting performance of her hit I'm Alive, which brought the crowd to its feet with cheers for the singer, who suffers from a rare neurological disorder that causes debilitating muscle spasms, forcing her to largely step away from singing for 2 years. So this reminded me a little bit. Well, I don't know if I should say it like this. It seems it seems Celine Dion was a surprise guest. Now, did JLo know? Was JLo emotionally prepared for being on the stage with Celine Dion? I don't know. I don't know. But if you've already had a tough year and you've had to cancel a tour and you thought that you're the muse of this designer, and all of a sudden Celine Dion comes down a staircase singing these amazing ballads, and I actually really love the song I'm Alive. It's such an uplifting song, I feel. It's gotta make you feel a little bit insecure, maybe, envious, maybe. Okay, so then I found this article, and this is, I'm gonna tell you right now, clickbait. Because in this entire article, I didn't see this three-word phrase anywhere. The first 3 words, I did not see that anywhere. I think maybe it might have been a comment on one of the posts, but I couldn't find the comment. So, anyways, continuing on, this was an MSN article, and it says she was pissed. Celine Dion shrugs off Jennifer Lopez's side eye. Fans claim JLo's jealousy was showing. In the clip, the two ladies are dressed in dazzling gowns, taking photos with Lebanese fashion designer Ellie Saab standing between them. On the opposite open side of JLo stood actress Halle Berry and singer Camila Cabello, who eventually went to stand next to Dion, presumably to make the number of women standing on both sides of Saab even. But while the picture taking moment was occurring, fans noticed that Lopez kept looking off to the side in the direction where Dion was standing. It's not 100% clear whether the Hustlers actress really was looking at Dion or something in that direction. And the video also pans so far to the right at some points that Dion is even cut out of it. But in the parts where she is viewable, she doesn't look over at JLo. So let's watch the clip again. So Jennifer is looking off to the left, but we don't know, because like the article is saying, we don't know necessarily where Celine Dion is standing. Celine Dion could have her back to them and could be having an independent conversation with someone else. Okay, so at that moment we saw where Celine Dion was, but in that part when JLo looks over, we don't know necessarily that JLo's looking over there. Let's watch it again. We don't know where JLo is looking really. JLo steps back to allow the conversation between Ellie and Camilla. And you see JLo really, one thing I did notice in all of these clips is JLo really does want Ellie's attention, I felt. Sarah says, someone looks like they are next to Celine, so could she be looking at that person? Exactly. We don't know. We don't know exactly who she's looking. There's even a black elbow here. Whose black elbow is that? Right? Let's see. We don't know. Well, we see, okay, so we know Camilla's here, but then there must be a jump because Camilla then moves over here. It is Camilla, right? But is she wearing gloves? She's wearing gloves, but oh yes, I'm confused. Maybe Celine was talking to someone completely different who also happened to have some type of black clothing on. And then eventually Camilla moved to that side to make the picture even so that Ellie would be in the middle. That's what it looks like to me. Let's look at this clip. So this is that same clip. I don't know. I don't know necessarily that you can come to that conclusion that she's looking at Celine. Beautiful. I like Celine Dion's the best because I love bling, and Halle Berry's is my second favorite. Yeah. All right, let's continue the article. The article then says fans reacted to Lopez's strange behavior in the clip. One person commented under the video saying, "Look at JLo eyeing up Celine Dion. Darling, there's no comparison. Celine is a queen. Get over yourself." Someone else said, "So insecure, Celine didn't even glance her way." Another commenter noticed. Someone else says, "JLo can't keep her eyes off Celine because she's jealous of her. That's what." So someone else responded to that comment saying, "Because she's jealous of her. That's what." Okay, so now I'm going to show you a couple more clips, and let's talk about them. Okay, so what I wanted to do is to show you the clip that I will break down in its entirety. So you see where everyone is kind of standing, they're all greeting each other. Maybe we can see who what. I don't see anyone else that could have been that black elbow. I don't know who that is in the blue dress. And you see now they all start moving forward towards, it looks like maybe the front of the stage. I don't know if maybe the back of the stage. Yeah. Okay, so that's the full clip. Let me show it to you again. So Celine and Halle are greeting each other. JLo is waiting to greet Selena. Then Camilla does too. Yeah. Okay, now let's get into clips that I kind of broke it down and I zoomed in. This is the first one. And what I notice is that JLo actually is waiting for her chance to say hello to Celine Dion. To me, she looks preoccupied and focusing on the moment where Celine Dion does turn to her. So let me play that again. So she's greeting Ellie, but she's constantly looking in Celine's direction. To me, it seems because she wants to make sure she doesn't miss out on that greeting. She's preoccupied with where Celine is standing. In the language that I speak, there's a phrase that would describe this moment, the JLo's behavior, and it would be that the mind is trailing behind. And the mind is trailing behind, or the brain is trailing behind, because there's this preoccupation of what's going to come and how you're going to react. So the person is not really in that moment because they're so focused on something else. Let me know in the comments if you feel that as you watch this clip, that it seems more that JLo is focused on making sure she doesn't miss that opportunity to say hello to Celine. She does have gritted teeth, so there is like anxiety there, it seems a little bit. And she is trying to continue the conversation with Celine, but Celine turns around. Teaspoon says maybe in the black. So that's what I thought too, Teaspoon. But actually, when you watch that clip, here, let's watch it. See how we have the elbow, but we also have Camila Cabello on the right. So it's not the same elbow. And this elbow looks like velvet to me, doesn't it? It looks like a velvet versus Camilla's looks like satin. The gloves are leathery, satiny kind of. Yeah, that's the impression I get. Yeah. What do you all think? Do you see that too when you watch this clip, that JLo is just really trying not to miss out on the opportunity to say hello? Let's go to the next clip while I wait for your responses. Okay, so see, this is you're I'm glad that you're saying this because you're verbalizing in a much clearer way what I was trying to say. You say, I think JLo is looking for the right time to greet Celine, and it looks like she doesn't want to miss the chance to say hi because she knows the cameras are on her. I believe this too. I believe this too. Let's watch the next clip. So now at this point, Celine and Ellie are holding hands, and JLo is holding on to Ellie's arm. So I feel there is this element of trying to hold Ellie's attention, and there is a competition between Ellie, I think JLo might feel, between herself and Celine. But in my opinion, when you watch these clips, it seems very obvious to me that Ellie seems more drawn to Celine. JLo didn't want to walk the second row, and Celine is delicate and probably needs more attention than JLo. Yeah, I was reading about the condition she has, and that's another thing that complicates things, that maybe there is this, I don't know, motivation to make sure that Celine is doing okay. Could she be fangirling? She's definitely looks anxious around Celine. That's what I feel. Now, whether or not that's fangirling or that she knows the cameras are watching and she doesn't want a clip like this to come out, even though it did come out. It could be. And then let's see, I have two more clips for you. So this one is when they actually do greet each other, and you look at like it's a very forced smile I see on JLo, and she look the gritted teeth at the end. Yeah, she could feel intimidated, I think. And again, this is someone who had a really tough year, who maybe was thinking she was going to be the star of the show, and then Celine Dion comes walking down the elemental staircase, or whatever they described in the article. And then in the final clip, this is where Celine turns around and JLo just, I don't know, she feels like maybe she got rejected, and she tries to avoid the moment she looks up. Like, it's just she's acting very awkward. And there is a little bit of a mask slip I see. Yeah. Carol, inferiority complex converted into a superiority complex. That's an interesting thing to look into. All right, everyone. So I hope you all enjoyed that. I know it's a different topic from Harry and Meghan that we usually talk about, but I thought this was really interesting body language. And my conclusion from it wasn't necessarily that JLo was looking or giving dirty looks to Celine Dion. I think there was a lot of awkwardness. I think there was. I really like how Carol said that inferiority complex converted into a superiority complex. I think JLo probably was not in her element, because of the year that she had had, and I don't know, I mean, the best of us would feel insecure next to Celine Dion, right? And that's where the live stream clip ends. I can't wait to hear what you all have to say about it. Please drop your thoughts in the comments, and I hope I see you in the next live stream. If this was interesting to you, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll know every time I drop a new video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you're looking for a meaningful way to support something beyond the screen, I'd love for you to consider making a donation to the National Domestic Violence Hotline in lieu of super chats and super stickers. They provide 24/7 support and resources for people in unsafe or overwhelming situations, whether that's emotional, physical, or just hard to name. Their information is on the screen should you need to contact them, and you'll find the link to donate in the description of this video. Every little bit helps, and it means a lot. Thank you again for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.